Oh, good afternoon, everyone, and our friends around the globe, east, north, and west. I don't think it really goes that way, but hey, it works in the way. Hey, guys, welcome to the Boomerang Radio Show. I'm your host, William A. Brown. I see one of my panelists. Hey, that is Ann Taylor, Ann Wooten Taylor. Hey, Ann.
Hey, my friend, how are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. Let me take this double screen off. Okay, there we are. Okay,
Mhm.
doing fine. Mike is out on assignment, and Dr. Sim, she's not feeling too well today.
Oh
Hopefully, Mary will
no.
join us. And but anyway,
All
we're gonna have
right.
a great show anyway. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
we are.
Yes, we are. You and
Yeah.
I, we talked about it a little bit yesterday,
Yeah.
um, and it's very serious out here, folks. It's very, very serious out here. But I think we'll do something fun before we get into that. Genda Harris, the latest songbird, Genda Harris, you know her well.
Mhm.
She did something for us, and
What?
I'm gonna play this. Let's do
Okay.
it. This is a brand new commercial.
Awesome.
Check it out.
Tuned in to StudioWBuzz.com. Catch the buzz.
Oh, it's only 17 seconds, but I absolutely love it.
Yes, it's nice. It really is.
Yeah,
It really is nice.
she's very, very creative. Not only is she a great singer, but she has other talents as well, creativity,
Mhm.
and she's working on. She does her own videos now.
Mhm.
Let's see if I have one. Let's do this real quick.
Yes, I saw you call the other night.
No, you did.
You and I know, baby, things just ain't right.
What you talking about?
Now you know what you gotta do. Right now you put your man, he can't help you. No, don't tell me about losing your mind.
It's hard, ain't it?
The way you treat me, baby, I almost lost mine. So if you're wondering who's answering my phone,
Yeah, who is it?
you wouldn't have to wonder.
right.
Virtual
Sister's
office
not playing.
where I bring
Yeah, you might not want to make her mad.
I think that's what she is saying.
Want to
And I
do
want to talk to
that.
YouTube and Facebook right now. We have all rights to play that song. She has given the station complete rights to play her music and those videos. She creates her own videos now. Quite a talent. And she's also
Nice.
an actor.
That's nice.
Very
That's
nice. Very nice. One of my favorite artists of all time, along with Lab 101 with Bruce J, the entertainer. Hope you guys are listening in. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Boomerang Radio Show.
bruh,
Hmm.
bruh.
Now, okay, all right. Okay. All right. You know, let's see. It's yeah, okay, all right, okay. It's AI. Who cares? Yep. Okay.
You
I'm
talking
not.
about the video? Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, this is some listener that's uh, tuning in. Hey, catch on. It's all AI. All right. So, but I'm going to take this comment down because this is a family show. I'm going to take this one round. Okay. I'm not going to repeat it because we have listeners not only on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're also available on Alexa. So some of you guys are audio, some of you are audio and video. But you can also download our app. That's Studio W dot Buzz. Studio dot W. Studio dot W. Studio W. Android or Apple. We're also available on the website. Just go to Studio W dot Buzz. Studio W dot Buzz. If I sound a little stuffy, and that's because I am. Okay.
oh, poor baby. What's the matter with you? You that tall?
Oh, see, there you go again. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let me back up 1 second. Wednesday, it was 87 degrees.
Oh,
Okay.
that was nice for you. I know you like that
Oh,
California like weather.
oh, I was basking. I was having a great time. Thursday, it was supposed to be 71.
Hmm.
Whoever's in charge of that, okay, should be fired
Oh, the
because
weather?
yes, the weather app, they
Oh, you
should be
talking about the
fired.
weather app? Because I'm like,
Weather app.
you can't fire the
Okay.
Lord, but
No, no, you
he,
can't.
he put it in place. We're the ones who kind of messed it up. So I mean, it
I
ain't
go along
it
with
ain't
that.
his fault.
So check this out. So Thursday, it was not 71. It had dropped down. Let's put it this way.
Mhm.
It started snowing.
Okay, so William,
It doesn't
there's
snow at
this thing
71
called
degrees.
there's this thing called temperature dropping. And so if it was 87 the day before, you
Uh-huh.
probably at midnight were at the 71 point, and they count that as the high temperature. And the
Really?
temperature just kept dropping.
Okay. Is that right?
I, that's kind of how temperatures work. You can't to
You know,
get
I
to
understand.
snow to get from 87 to 32 or lower, you gotta fall. So I'm guessing that there was an overnight high
A
instead of a
fall.
daytime high.
A fall. You fell off the cliff
Who
from
fell off?
70.
Oh, okay. The weather. Okay, the weather fell off the cliff. Okay.
Hey, no. The way they had it listed now, they do post like from hour to hour how the temperature rises or falls, right? Okay.
Right, right,
That's not what they predicted. That's
right.
not the way they did it. I was upset. So if I sound a little stuffy, guys, please forgive me for that. But anyway, we're going to have a great show anyway. I thought I started, excuse me, with
Well,
something.
you are you trying to say that the weather change is why you're stuffy? Because I'm
Yes,
making sure to connect these dots. Okay. Okay.
yes.
So it went from being hot to cold too
87.
fast, and that made you have the sniffles.
Absolutely.
Okay. Poor
I
baby.
know I know the way this thing works.
Poor baby. Yeah, I know. The delicious. You dressed for the weather.
You know, maybe they need to hire me. It's just like when they say it's 40 degrees but it feels like 28.
Yeah.
Good doggone it. Then it's
It's
28.
28, right? Right. Now I'm with you on that one. I'm like, okay, so why would it be one temperature but feel like another one? Now, I
Right.
get that when it's a windy day.
Uh-huh.
It can be, if the wind stops blowing, on a hot summer day or even a warm spring day, you can feel what the temperature really is. And then the
Absolutely.
breeze and it kind of brings you some relief. So I understand that. But if
Uh-huh.
there's no wind, why is there a feels like temperature?
Absolutely.
That's but I'm not a
Okay.
meteorologist. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I don't understand it in terms of the absence of
Uh-huh.
some other factor. Like for
Okay.
instance, maybe it starts to rain. Okay.
Uh,
If it starts to rain, I can see that making it feel cooler, but I can
right.
also see that making it cooler too. So, oh well, anyway.
Well, let me do it for you. Yeah, they're wrong. I will say it.
Well, okay, William.
Okay.
I will say they're wrong. We believe in science. We just some
Yeah.
that there's some parts of science that I totally disagree with
Uh-huh.
that I think is just flat out wrong, and
Mm.
and they eventually get caught up to the fact that yeah, you're wrong. but but when it comes to the weather, some things I just don't get.
Right,
And
right.
that feels like temperature is one of those things.
Well, I believe in science also. There's no question
Mhm,
about it. I believe in science.
mhm.
But now, when it comes to switching over from the weather to uh, the Secretary of the Health and Human Services Department. Wow. Why in the world would you ever want to put in that quack, JFK Jr.? Why would you do that? It makes no sense to me at all. And I don't know whether you've seen him in those Senate and congressional hearings or not. The cat he falls apart. You know what he had the nerve to say one day they were asking him about the measles outbreaks and vaccines because he's an anti-vaxxer. And they asked him, well, because of this outbreak right here, are you for people getting the vaccine? Do you know he couldn't answer that question? He couldn't answer it.
The
And
answer
then he
you
went
want to
on to
answer.
say, and this one got me, nobody should be taking medical advice from me.
Yeah, that line was a killer, wasn't it? I was like, oh, so even
Could you?
even that you're practicing medicine without a license.
Oh,
Okay. So now, do you look? Are the people who following you listening to this? No, because the folks that they get their news from probably didn't play that.
uh-huh.
And if they did, they put some crazy spin on it. It's truly amazing that they have to get sick and die like they did, during the pandemic before they start waking up and realizing, oh, we should have done this. I mean, how many times did we hear people who had been telling everybody don't get this vaccine, it's not good for you. There's no telling what's in it. They did it too fast, blah, blah, blah. How many times did you have to flip the script and hear some of those same people saying they were wrong because they were dying, and
Right.
now that they're on their deathbeds, they want to tell everybody get the vaccine, and the damage has been done.
Lord
It's
Jesus.
amazing how people aren't listening to the folks who who changed their minds when they kind of like had no choice but to do so. And the anti-vax movement has just gotten worse and worse, where people just aren't getting it all. Don't get me wrong, I get like getting busy or forgetting, because I normally every year I get my shots. This year I forgot. I just, and they called me to remind me about it, and I still didn't go because it's not like making an appointment with the doctor. You just go to the pharmacy, and I don't like going standing in line in the pharmacy, so I kept putting it off and completely forgot. Thank God I didn't get sick. But when you don't do it because you think,
Mm,
oh,
mm,
it's gonna
mm.
kill you, or it's like, really? I mean,
Really?
if it would be one thing it would be one thing if the measles vaccine had just come out. You know,
Hmm.
I got the measles vaccine as a kid. I've been on the planet 5 decades.
Yeah.
It's done nothing but help people. You know what I'm saying? So all of these vaccines that we've been giving folks for decades, why would you believe the lie that the mumps, measles, rubella vaccine is giving everybody autism? Autism existed before there was that
Hmm.
vaccine. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it doesn't make sense. But then again, a lot of the stuff these people believe doesn't make
Makes no sense at all.
no.
You know, it's like you would think that look how long uh, the United States has existed, and well, of course, the world a lot longer, obviously.
Mhm.
But you would think, and man has evolved in so many different areas. I mean, of genius, perhaps. But being able to send a man to the moon, being able to put a man out in space. But look at something as simple. Well, it's not simple. Think about the creation of television,
Mhm.
and being able to communicate
Mhm.
around the world with anyone right now. The evolution, so to speak. Now you go back into the early 1900s. We didn't. There was no internet. There
No.
was no Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi. There was none of this, and that man was able to communicate that way.
Mhm.
And remember, and also when it came back to like wartime, they used like Morse code. I
Mhm.
mean, come on. And then going from when we were kids, how technology has evolved to the point that uh, it is almost flawless as far as listening to music, listening to programs,
Mhm.
TV, and before you, uh, you were born after I think color TV was invented. I grew up with black and white TV.
we I had a black and white TV in my room because that's what my mom and dad got us, but we
Uh huh.
had a color TV in the living room. So I knew that I didn't have to look at this old outdated black and white television, but my parents were like, you said you want a TV, you got a TV. Be happy with
Be
what
happy
you
with that.
have. Right. So I'm young enough to remember that televisions didn't have color. But yeah, you're right. I came along when we had Technicolor and all that other stuff already. you
Right.
could watch you could watch television and you could watch movies in color.
Right. And I remember the first color TV, color, it really wasn't that good. It
Of course
really
not.
wasn't that good at all. And but they've evolved, they've figured out, man. So my point is, man has figured out, and we've had all of these marvelous, marvelous advancements, inventions, things of that nature. Yet we have not figured out a way to get along
Nope. It's amazing to be smart and how people can be smart and stupid at the same
at the
time.
same time.
it's it's astounding. I mean,
It
absolutely
is.
astounding
It
how
is.
that can be.
It's absolutely crazy. Now,
Mhm.
wow. Uh, oh boy. Happy Women's History Month. This is
Yeah.
Women's History Month, and I'm gonna see if I can pull up a clip here on women's history. I thought I had something. I want to do that before I get into the main show, main topic. But oh wow, what do I have here? I have something. Thought I had something. No, I don't. So, Ann, while I'm looking at something, please tell us a little bit about EAW, the Eden as an Act of Worship Ministries radio show.
Well, Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries, we're a nonprofit organization. We teach the biblical principles about the body, dieting, exercising, and maintaining a healthy body for the glory of God. We do that through our 12-week health and fitness course. And yes, Lord willing, we will be having a class starting up in August. We've been in demand for a class. We getting phone calls, getting invitations. Our social calendar has picked up a lot. Speaking of which, you want to join us on April 17th through the 18th. we will be broadcasting live on location on April 18th from the Hall of Industry here in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're going to be with the HBCU Black Wall Street Career Fest that's going on
Oh,
right here in Little Rock, April 17th through the 18th. You don't want to miss it. It's from 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday, the 17th. That's April 17th. And April 17th, it will be at Arkansas Baptist College. So don't they're going to hold it 2 days, but separate locations each day. So April 17th, 8 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., Arkansas Baptist College. Then come back the next day, 8 o'clock a.m. again to 5 o'clock p.m. And we'll be at the fairgrounds in the Hall of Industry. That's the 2025 National HBCU Black Wall Street Career Fest. You don't want to miss it because we're going to have fun. As a matter of fact, William, we're gonna need your help. We want to try to broadcast 2 hours in a row, meaning broadcasting here on Studio W Buzz at our regular time, but also broadcasting in the Little Rock area at our 10 o'clock hour. So we want to do a 2-hour broadcast, but
okay.
the way the radio station here would need it is that we need to do it through StreamYard. So I don't know how William is going to feel about that. I'm just throwing it out there on the air. It puts him in the hot
Well, I
spot.
don't have a problem. Now, the time is, now this is Saturday, and the date is
April 17th.
April 17th.
That's
Saturday,
Friday. No,
right?
I'm sorry. April 18th is Saturday. Friday, April 17th is the first day of the event. But we will be there on Saturday, April the 18th.
Right. Okay. Friday, I don't see an issue there now. And on the Saturday, that
Well,
starts at what time?
Well, Friday we won't be there. We're scheduled
Oh,
to broadcast live on Saturday,
and
at 10 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. if we can work it right with the 2 radio stations working together. That's what we're trying to do.
you know,
So
I think that'll work. I really think that'll work.
awesome. I love it to have, to kind of merge
Oh,
both
wow.
of the
That would be
radio
great.
stations together. Yeah, it's gonna be on fire. And so I can't wait to interview all the people there.
Oh,
Because it's been a
man.
long time since we broadcast live on location because we used to do it all the time. Remember, William?
Yes, yes, yes. And the only problem that we didn't do it on StreamYard. I think
Right.
right.
That was the difference. You couldn't see the people because it was all just audio. But
Oh, wow.
now, yeah, we're gonna have the Andre's already getting geared up.
Oh, man. I'm excited
Yeah.
already. I'm
I
excited
know, me
about that.
too.
Let's
I'm
do this.
looking forward to
Yeah.
it. I
And
really
we'll be
am.
on LinkedIn,
Yep.
Facebook Live. Now we have 4 Facebook pages. We have
Mm.
William A. Brown, Studio W, The Buzz. We have Teens Talk Truth. We have, uh, I might even barge in on the sports page. We can have the sports page, and we have
Mhm.
our fan page, Studio W, The Buzz, Studio W, The Buzz, Studio W, The Buzz. In the meantime,
Right.
also, guys, you can take us with you if you love great, great music. I'm telling you, our music library is outstanding. It is
Yes.
outstanding. Smooth jazz, R&B, Southern soul, blues, gospel, reggae.
Mhm.
Look, and what something we did before, and that was we had salsa music. We're going to bring that back. And just unbelievable. Our library is incredible, and not only that, this is the place for up and coming artists. If you have a song and let's check it out. If it's
Mhm.
good, we will definitely play it for you. And this is the platform for you. Studio W.Buzz, Studio W.Buzz. And I'll also check me out, reach out to me, reach me at William at Studio W Buzz.com. That's William at Studio W Buzz.com or WB Financial Services 99 at gmail.com.
Mhm.
WB Financial Services 99 at gmail.com. And contact me anyway if you have a question about maybe insurance or your retirement, your 401k, whatever it is, check me out on that as well. That's WB Financial Services 99 at gmail.com. Either address, you can reach me. William at Studio W .buzz, William at Studio W.buzz.com. So anyway,
You know
uh,
what, William? I do hear it now. You need some tea with some honey.
yeah, I do.
Your voice is a little raspy. I'm like, yeah, he's not taking care of himself. You need some tea with some honey in it to coat your throat and help.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hear it right now. Yeah, I told you it was the weather, and it wasn't my doing, but that's okay. Anyway,
I don't know what you've been doing. Some people don't know how to dress for the weather. It gets warm one day and they decide to put on shorts
oh
and
boy.
whatnot, and then wonder why they end up with pneumonia or something. I'm like, okay, you can't do that. Wait till spring actually breaks and gets consistently warm, then okay. But right
Yeah.
now,
Oh boy.
we respect the fact that we are still legally in the winter months.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm telling you, hey, check this out. I'm thinking 87 degrees. I'm out there dancing on the patio. I'm having a good time, right? And then the next day it's snowing. So
Right, right.
anyway,
See
let's
what I'm
go to this
saying?
one right here. I ran across this on Facebook earlier today, and I
Mhm.
decided for Women's History Month, let's play
Yeah,
this clip.
sure.
Okay, here we go.
Of human life. That's not a slogan, that's genetics. Black women are the beginning of human life. That's not a slogan, that's genetics. Every human alive today traces their ancestry back to Africa. All of us. Every race, every ethnicity, every nationality. And not just Africa, African women. And just to be clear, this doesn't mean that men weren't there. It means maternal DNA is the only lineage science can trace cleanly and continuously that far back. Which is kind of ironic, because patriarchy spends a lot of energy stamping men's last names onto children to mark ownership. But biology has always traced human continuity through women. Before there were white people, before there were Asian people, before there were Europeans, before there were borders, religions, or nations, there were Black women giving birth to humanity. Skin lightened as humans migrated to places with less sun. Features changed based on environment. But the origin, the beginning, the source code, African women. And yet somehow, in a world that literally exists because of them, Black women are still the most disrespected, erased, exploited, and undervalued group on the planet, which is a choice, not a coincidence. This isn't about saying Black women are better than anyone else. It's about telling the truth about where humanity comes from and noticing how violently that truth has been denied. Because once you understand that Black women are literally the foundation of human life, it becomes very obvious that racism isn't ignorance. It's fear and insecurity trying to rewrite the origin story. So no, Black women aren't on the margins of history. They are the beginning of it. Black women are the beginning.
Okay, that's gonna piss some people off, but I don't care, Ann. I really
They
don't.
can get mad. Everybody knows. Everybody who's gotten at least a real education, and when I say real, I mean you went to an actual school with certified licensed teachers and not this indoctrination, I mean homeschool thing where they teach you what they want you to hear,
Right.
type of situation. But yeah, we all learned, or should have learned, that the cradle of civilization was in Africa, which is where the Black people are. so,
Yeah.
so I don't know how that's confusing. What I do know is it's strange. I agree with her 100% that for whatever reason, the women as well as the people on the African continent are all, for whatever reason,
Mm.
by the whole planet, it seems, oppressed, exploited, natural resources taken advantage of, the people being taken advantage of. It's amazing to me that it's kind of like almost a foregone conclusion that they feel like they have the right to go there and do whatever they want. And
Right.
And I mean, you can even see it today with the people in South Africa claiming that somebody's wronging them. You went from Europe to South Africa where all the black people were and stole their land, and you're upset because they're getting it back. I mean, the entitlement syndrome that
It's
they have is astounding. Where do you get this from? This notion that everything that belongs to other people should be yours and they shouldn't say anything to you about it. They shouldn't stand
right.
up for themselves. It is insanity the way that these people think. They are literally insane.
And think about this, Ann. That's what happened to the Native Americans and also the black indigenous people that were here before Columbus. Now, I learned this in school and I laugh because people say, Columbus Day, Columbus Day. I said, this clown, he got lost. He thought he was
Right.
headed to India. And
Right.
you guys are celebrating this? Are you kidding me right now? And then you came over and stole the land. And now, guess what? You own it. And now you're selling it back to us if we get a chance to get a loan.
Committed genocide. I mean, literally wiped out the people, most of the people who were already
Unbelievable.
living here. Yeah, and have the audacity to get mad because other people come to the country. Really? I I mean, the hypocrisy is amazing.
Astounding.
It's crazy.
It's a standard. I've got another clip for you right here.
Okay.
Let's try this. Okay. Oh, where is it? Okay. I think no, that's not the one. St. Luke Bank, where are you? Oh, okay.
Did you use it,
Let's try this.
William? You lost it.
Okay, no. Oh no, I've got it right here. As a matter of fact, this bank was founded by the lady who founded my high school, and that's Maggie Lena
The
Walker.
bank in the U.S. wasn't white. She was a black woman named Maggie Lena Walker.
That's right.
Born in 1864 to a formerly enslaved mother, Maggie didn't just break barriers, she bulldozed them. At a time when black folks couldn't even enter most banks, she built her own. In 1903, she founded the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, giving black families the power to save, buy homes, and invest in their futures when no one else would.
Oh, wow.
But Maggie didn't stop there. She ran newspapers. She opened department stores. She hired black women when no one else would. And through the Independent Order of St. Luke, she taught financial literacy, empowerment, and self-reliance to thousands.
Hold on.
While Wall Street was locking us out, Maggie was teaching us how to build our own.
Okay.
But ask your history teacher about her and watch the silence.
Wow.
They buried her legacy because it proves we've always been builders,
Wow.
always been bosses. If this is your first time hearing her name, drop a money bags in the comments. Follow Roots Uncovered because we're unearthing every untold story they tried to erase.
Come on now.
They never told you the first woman to own a bank in the U.S. wasn't white.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I am so proud because, and like I said, this is part of the legacy here, right here in Virginia.
Wow.
There is, and I believe this is true, that there is, I've never been there, but there was a museum named after her.
Wow.
Her house was turned into a museum. I believe that still exists.
That's
If
impressive.
anyone, a 007, if you're listening right now, please fact check me on that. But I did go to Maggie L. Walker High School, the
Wow.
Mighty Green Dragons. It was oh look, we were outstanding. There were two major or two black high schools here in Richmond, Virginia. That was Maggie L. Walker and Armstrong. And each year we used to have the classic, and it wasn't played at our stadiums or on our fields, right? It was played at the Coliseum. There's a place, I mean, because that was the only place that was large enough to hold an enormous crowd, the enormous crowd, right? And
Right.
it was outstanding. I played in the marching band. It was incredible. It was absolutely
Right.
incredible. The heritage is deep there. Maggie Lena Walker. As a matter of fact, uh, I think the bank had changed its name when I became an adult, but I had an account there. I had an account there. Uh,
Wow, that's wonderful.
Outstanding. It was
I love
absolutely,
it. I love
yeah.
it that
y-
her legacy lasted that so long. Cause
Oh,
wow, that's
yes,
amazing.
yes, yes, yes. And you can't deny that. You can't deny that.
Mhm.
Yes. So I thought I'd do that in honor of Black History, Women's History Month. Well,
Right.
Black history is American history. Don't forget it.
Yes, yes, it is. And look, everybody it's funny because I love to follow the people on threads. They were like, well, since everybody was so disrespectful in March, all year, 2025, 2026, we declaring the rest of the year as Black History Month too.
That's
We're
right.
gonna start with Melanated March. And so I thought it was hilarious.
I didn't
And then
hear that.
and then they went on
Oh
to start
my!
lifting
I
up
love it.
Black women in history in honor of
Oh my
Melanated
God.
March and Women's History March. So I mean Women's History Month. So yeah, it
Oh, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Melanated March. I love it.
Right.
Oh, that is clever. That is
Yes.
clever. Oh my,
Loving it.
my, 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 my. And yeah, and I thought we have a little fun there. Ah, boy. And now, I'm going to go to this other chapter because I think it's necessary.
Hmm.
And it's about this administration, if you want to call it that,
It's a
has to
regime.
be the most incompetent,
Yeah. Yeah.
dumbest,
That too.
selfish,
Yeah.
narcissistic,
Yeah.
incredibly ignorant.
You forgot corrupt.
Oh yeah, that part too.
Mm. Yeah.
Ever and ever,
They,
ever.
if
Did we
they're
learn
not number
anything?
one, they rocking that they're close to it.
Did we learn anything from the war in Iraq that never
um,
should have happened? I remember when it happened, and I said, "Oh no, don't, don't, don't do it. Don't do that." And what was he? Was he 43
I don't know
or
how old he
43rd
was.
president? George Bush. George
Oh,
Bush
okay. Yeah, he was 43rd.
at the 43rd president. And this cat, I thought he was the dumbest president ever. Oh,
And then the bottom
and
fell
then,
out.
and then oh boy.
He's a genius compared to what we got going on now.
I would take him right now over this cat. I would definitely. It is absolutely. It's incredible.
I will say this. This is how bad it was, how much I disliked Bush as president. When he was elected, especially that second time, supposedly, I literally wanted to move to another country. I wanted to leave. And so to know that there's somebody worse to know that as bad as it was then,
Don't leave us, man. Don't leave us.
I would prefer him over what we have now is astounding. I mean, wow. Because I mean, at least he had competent people. You know what I'm saying? They weren't likable people. They weren't the type of people you wanted in office. I truly do believe that everything that's led up to Trump happened in the previous administrations, beginning with Ronald Reagan. You can go all the way back to him.
Oh my God.
With his so-called trickle down economics and
Right.
lowering the tax rate. I think the marginal tax rate was like 70% before he got in office, and he lowered it to like 30%, 28, 30%, something like that. And so, and not only that, I think even before he got in office, he waged war on student protesters at universities, and he was the catalyst, if not the main person, who drove free public tuition from university. So nobody was paying to go to a public college. Do you hear me? So there was
Right.
no student debt. So the problem that we have now stems from him, and then the George Bush Senior building on top of that, and George Bush Jr. building on top of that, and they've created this particular scenario because they've chipped and chipped and chipped away for so many decades, and they finally produced what they wanted. And now some of them who've been a part of that process, like Dick Cheney and his daughter, were like, "Uh-oh, we want one too many," and want to reverse course. And I really appreciate those who recognize that they made a mistake and admit that, that this was wrong and we need to go back the other way.
Mhm.
I still can blame you for being part of the problem.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I commend you, for admitting that okay, this has gone too far. This is not right. This is not what America stands for. So
Mhm.
I'm on the one hand, good on you, but at the same time bad on you, because we are here because you enabled this. We are here because
Absolutely.
you made this possible. The Supreme Court cheating, not what's his name, we were talking about Bush. Bob Dole was his vice president, but
Oh,
Bill
wow.
Clinton's vice president, and I see his face so clearly. But he should have been our president. What's his name? It was Bill Clinton, and his vice president was William. I know
Help
you know
me.
the man's
I
name.
don't know. I don't remember.
You do remember him.
I do remember
You
Bill
do
Clinton, of
remember.
course.
Say what?
Are you talking about Bill Clinton or Bob Dole?
No, I'm talking about Bill Clinton, the
Of course
man
I
who was
remember
vice
him.
president under Bill Clinton.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember his name because he was the first one who was, to my knowledge, when I was growing up, the first person that I heard talking about climate change, and he wanted
Oh,
to
you talking about Al Gore?
Al Gore, yes. And so everything that happened in Florida, and then the Supreme Court basically giving the election to Bush, it was all
Mhm.
just it was all a really
That's right. Because
painful time in history, and it led to definitively what we have going on now. It started with that
absolutely.
with that that court,
Hmm.
that particular conservative court,
Absolutely.
that basically took an election from the American people. So
I said years ago, and you heard me say it on this show right here. This electoral college needed to be done with.
yeah, it's
And
just going to take a
nobody
lot to get
explained
rid
it.
of it.
Yeah, nobody explained it better than Dr. Demery while I missed him.
Yeah, I
And the
miss him.
reason why the electoral college was formed in the first place,
Mhm.
it was enabled and created to give these racist Southerners a
Mhm.
chance to win elections. That's
Mhm.
what it should look.
The people that they referred to as cattle suddenly became valuable enough to get them more representation. Yeah.
What think about how much how much sense does this make? It makes no sense at all. The majority should win. Okay. For instance, let's say you go to a baseball game, whether
Mhm.
it's women's or men's, basketball, men or women, hockey, whatever it is. Are you going to tell me that the team that scored less should
Wins
win the
the
game
game.
because they came from a school that didn't have as much money as you did, or they didn't have as many star athletes as you did? I mean, or for whatever event. Look, if you win by 1 point,
Excuse me.
you win the game. Okay.
Okay.
And this electoral college thing is an absolute farce. It was from the beginning. It is during, and it is absolutely stupid. The majority of the people should have a say in the government. Now think about this. Because you lived in a rural area and then you decided to move out of that area because you got a better job or whatever it is, you got a better education, whatever it is, shouldn't your vote still count? It doesn't matter.
Can you
The
hear me? Because I
majority
can't hear
should
you.
win. They need to abolish the doggone electoral college. I said that years ago. I'm sticking to my guns here, and I don't see why. And the Democrats, when you guys, let me tell you right now, I vote Democrat because guess what? I'm not going to vote for these other clowns. I'm telling you right now. No
Right.
matter what, I'm not doing that. But get your act together. Get control and get rid of that doggone electoral college. And also, let's take a look at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, look, I have no problem stacking the deck. They did it.
Right.
Come on. Fair exchange is no robbery as far as I'm concerned. You let me be president. Yes, I'm gonna stack it. I will stack it. But I wouldn't do it for nefarious reasons. And if you look
Right.
at what's going on right now, this guy somehow, well, not somehow, but him and his cronies, they were able to stack the deck, manipulate the courts. They got the Supreme Court. Now, you also have the Department of Justice. You have, which is huge, folks. You got the Supreme Court and the Department of Justice. And you know more about this than I do. You got a huge advantage over anything. And how in the world was he able to go in and get the Supreme Court to say, even if he did something illegal while he's on the job this time, he cannot be prosecuted? What kind of garbage is that? This makes no sense to me.
Okay.
And these people went to college, they went to Ivy League schools, they got their Jewish doctrine. What is that? Jewish doctrine?
Juris
Doctrine? Are you serious right now? You can't make this make sense to me. It's not going to make sense to me. And so he stacked the deck already. You got the Department of Defense. You have everything. You got the Congress. Yeah, you have the Senate right now. You got the presidency. And what is he able to do? Screw everything up. As a matter of fact, I was looking at something several months ago, and I know it still holds true right now. And they were ranking presidents from the best to the worst. Guess who's at the bottom?
I imagine Trump will be close to it, if not at the bottom.
You got it, sister. He's at the bottom, the absolute worst. And the thing about this, it's kind of funny in a way, but it's not really funny because it's dangerous. He will get on TV and tell you how great he is and how great things are. Everything is great.
From his perspective, supposedly.
Prices are coming down. And did you know the prices are coming down? Did you know that?
They're not. I was in the store the other day on Friday. They're not. So let me just put it to you this way. We don't live in a true democracy. A true democracy is one where it's a simple majority vote. You get 51%, you win, period. We live in what's called a democratic republic. Basically, our democracy is based on a document, and that document is the Constitution. And that Constitution does include what you call the Electoral College. So instead of us electing our highest official with a simple 51% majority, we look at not just the popular vote, but we look at the Electoral College votes. That's what makes our republic a democracy. That's how our democracy works in this republic. The other thing about what makes us have a democratic republic is what's written in the document. What's written in the document says that we have checks and balances. So we have three branches of government that are supposed to prevent the type of corruption, the type of overreach in power from occurring, that we're seeing today. That's supposed to prevent, you know, us from being on the verge of becoming a dictatorship. That's basically what it's supposed to do. So you're supposed to have the president who is the leader of the country, but not a king, not a person who remains in power indefinitely. But he has finite terms in office. His power or her power should be checked by Congress, which is composed of the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. Um, and those two kind of have checks on each other, because you can have, say, for instance, a majority of Republicans in the House and a majority of Democrats in the Senate. So it'd be hard for Congress to pass anything unless they can work together under those circumstances. Then you have the Supreme Court, which is supposed to interpret the laws,
Oh
including
my
the
God.
Constitution of the United States. And so what we're seeing isn't new. We have had um before um before we got to this point in our history, we have had the Supreme Court be a friend to the racists on a number of occasions.
Mhm.
One in particular moment stands out, and that's after the Declaration of Independence was signed. After you have freed all the slaves, and we are, we've gone to war. Then assassinate the president who did it. So we didn't like him, obviously. So instead of the 14th Amendment having the bite it was intended to have, you have the Supreme Court um, basically allowing the rise, so to speak, of the Ku Klux Klan. Because if things had worked out the way they should have, then you shouldn't have been. It should you should have had laws not only that freed the slaves, but wouldn't have allowed them to be victims uh, of domestic terrorism, because that's what it is. Um, that wouldn't have allowed them to be oppressed the to the extent that they were until the civil rights movement. Um, but again, the backlash from the Civil War is is what we ended up with. We ended up with some people on the Supreme Court who weren't happy and who decided that they were going to side with the losing team and help them in their particular crusade to roll back the clock to the extent possible. So that's happened not just with the Supreme Court. You also have um, from time to time individuals who are in office who let you know they really don't have the best interest of all the people at heart, just some of the people. But right now, in this moment, I think it's stinging a little bit more, because it seemed like with the election of Barack Obama that we maybe had turned a corner, that maybe things were actually heading in the right direction. No, it wasn't perfect. Yeah, there was still a lot of work to do, but it felt like the next generation was going to have it even better than our generation. And because each generation things were getting a little bit better
Right.
since the Emancipation Proclamation. Seemed like things were going to get better. And now you have a backlash that is so I don't even know the right word for it. It's to the point where they are willing to burn down everything that
The
America
entire.
is
Yep.
in order. That's how much they hate it. And and not only that, it doesn't just affect us. In very real time, we got a crash course in how what happens in America affects the entire world. You know,
Mhm.
we said for all my life that America has quite a bit of influence over the globe. Everybody heard it said, but
Mhm.
we never experienced in before what happens in America affecting everything and everybody else on the planet the way that this stuff has been affecting everybody on the planet. Everybody on the planet is scared. Everybody with some sense, that
Mhm.
is. All the races on the planet are having a moment.
Oh,
You
they
know,
having the ball.
exactly, because and that's what people don't get. I think that's the part that's really really telling, is that Americans tend to be very self-centered, and so we don't pay attention to
Mhm.
what's going on in the rest of the world. And people, they're like, people are fleeing America, going to other countries, and I'm like, where are you going to go? This is happening everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere. So because you have the president of the United States who's a racist, openly racist, and they're calling it populism.
Mm.
Populism has reared its head all over the globe. North America isn't the only place. It's happening in South America. It's happening in Europe. You even have Japan that is now having a really, really tough, a really, really change in its stance on immigration. They're doing stuff that you would not expect the Japanese to do to people who are immigrating to their country, like kind of like the stuff you see happening over here. It's
Mhm.
it's sad. And so here recently, I think like in the last couple of weeks, the last holdout to populism in Europe was, I believe it was Portugal. And even then, it's now gotten a foothold in that particular country. The guy didn't win, but he got 33% of the vote. The last time there was an election, the person only had like 22% of the vote. Do you see how much of a leap that is? They gained a whole 10, 11% just in one election cycle. And it's all over Europe. You've got Italy that has a female president prime minister, but she's one of those conservatives. You can say a European MAGA type person.
Mhm.
They've had their Boris Johnson moment over in the UK. Thankfully he's out of office, but it's just like with what happened here. Everybody was so relieved when Joe Biden got elected. So was I. I was concerned because yeah, we elected him, but we didn't switch over both the House and the Senate. That was a big red flag to me. And so I was like, I hope this continues, but I wasn't surprised by what we got at the next election cycle. Wanted
Mhm.
Kamala to win with all my heart. And so it's not over, folks. No, and no matter where you try to run to, you will find yourself confronted with this problem again, even if you go to Canada. The only reason why Canada doesn't have a populist president right now is because um, this guy scared him so Trump scared him so bad. But Canada was leaning conservative. Australia was leaning conservative. Thankfully, Trump got in office first, and their citizens all went, oh heck no. This is too much. And they got out and they voted. And so
Mhm.
Australia is leaning back towards Democratic, and so is Canada with their president. But still, you still have a very significant populist conservative um, side of their voting
Mhm.
citizens in all of these countries. So I think what we have is a global problem. We've kind of normalized racism. We've normalized, selfishness, and to some extent, we're normalizing this imperialistic attitude again, because
It's unbelievable.
this guy has kidnapped one president, and for reasons I still don't understand. And now he's killed another guy who was in charge of Iran, the Ayatollah guy. And and we don't even know how he got the authority to go to war with these people, because Congress is the one that's supposed to allow that to happen. And I don't recall them taking a vote on that. But they also are not making a noise, not a peep. Not they should
It's crazy,
be
Ann.
they should be calling an emergency session of Congress. They should be stopping all of this because it's in their power to do so. They've abdicated their
Mhm.
power over and over and over again. So the document that this country is founded on isn't working. Basically, they have given authority over to this one person. So it's it's almost like we don't have a democratic republic anymore. It
Mm.
looks more and more to me like we are a fledgling autocracy slash dictatorship, depending on what happens in these next two election cycles. If you
Remember, I was saying when I opened the show, I said, we found, I mean, technology is through the roof. We're seeing some things like that now, right now, that we never thought that was possible.
right,
Yet we are making these stupid, I mean, these archaic, I mean, just nonsensical decisions. And I don't understand how anyone can go along with this, because I remember growing up, what we hear on the news, we never want to be, America is different. We
mhm.
do not bow down to authoritarianism. We don't do that. We do not like dictators.
They do
We,
now. They like them now.
you know,
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, I think it's going. I think it's going to switch, because then some people, they're going to have to realize, wait a minute, hold it. It might be my son or daughter that's going to war right now after this, over this clown right now. I see right now. Oh, gas is up almost $1 over
$100 a
what I
barrel.
paid last week.
Yep, $100 a barrel.
Groceries. I mean, and you look at, and if they had any sense at all, you look at it. When Reagan was in, Reagan almost destroyed this economy.
Yep, bad recession, horrible recession.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they
But they
talk
love
about, well,
him.
Reagan, good.
They love him
Love
though,
him.
William. They think he was
How?
the best thing since Swiss cheese. They
Right.
love him.
Okay. All right. Well, then you can keep your Swiss cheese. I don't care. So, but yeah, you can keep it. And then, okay, and then you get Clinton. Now, I'm not talking about his personal. I mean, his
personal life leaves much to be desired, but that's between him and his wife. I don't care about that. That's not my
hey,
business.
look, that's right. But I tell you what, the economy,
Oh yeah, it was great.
it was great under him. Then you get the Bushes in, and if you notice, every Republican president, guys, wake up. Every Republican president, all you have to do is go back, do your history. Every Republican president has almost, if not put us into a recession. And then the Democratic presidents had to bail us out. Had to bail us out. Clinton did a great job. President Obama, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best president ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why, because Bush had screwed it up so bad, the stock market had crashed. I mean, I'm talking about the housing market has crashed. Banks, where they were run on banks. Guys, do you know what run on banks mean? That means was everybody's running to the bank to get their money.
The
out.
money at the same time. I remember when that happened. I was at court and I was waiting on my case to be called.
Okay.
And I was back there with some of the other attorneys. I think I had just walked in the room or something. And I was like, what is wrong? And one of the ladies, she said, well, our stock market is crashing. And I mean, she was really concerned. And I'm like, the stock market is crashing. And this is, before everybody had cell phones with the web on it, where you could see what's going on in real time. So we're hearing about it from each other still. But it was like, oh my gosh. People were looking at the stock market. They were terrified. Now it's this is how normalized it's gotten. From that day to this one, I think that day the stock market lost, like, was it 1,000 points? It was a lot. It crashed. It crashed pretty hard. Now that same thing happens, and people like, oh, it's just Tuesday. I mean, we don't
Stupid.
bat an eye anymore because it's happened so frequently with this particular person being in office. It's like, it'll go down, it'll go, then he'll turn around and say something like the war is almost completely maybe over, and they for some
Yes.
reason they turn around and start buying stocks again. But the thing that's really crazy about it is we all know that that's not about us. That's about them.
It is.
The
It is.
stocks going
Remember,
up and down doesn't affect me.
yeah,
Not like this
remember
big show.
a couple of weeks ago, it was you and you, Greer, and I, and we were on, and he wanted to hear when our illustrious Attorney General of the United States was, God, she had to testify in front of Congress. Folks, I'm gonna tell you something. That was one of the most embarrassing hearings I've ever heard in my life. I mean,
I'm trying to think. Was I here that day?
Remember she was talking about instead of answering any questions, she was throwing insults at the congressmen and women.
Well, that's what
and
you
then she
do
got
when
on
you
there
ain't
talking
answer.
about, and they were asking her something about the Epstein files, and she said, "You want to talk about that? We want to talk about something else. The Dow Jones is at 50,000."
This is my chamber, lady. You will talk about what I tell you to talk about. You answer
Absolutely.
these questions that I pose to you.
Yeah, but she says, "Well, you guys don't like my question, my answers, and I'm going to answer the questions the way I want to answer them." No,
Okay,
no,
well,
you
we
don't.
can hold you in contempt. How about
They
that?
should have. They should have.
Mhm.
With proper leadership. Oh God, she should have been, and she should have been in jail. That is
Well,
absolutely incredible. But guess what, Miss Bondi? Do you know the Dow dropped below 47,000 this week?
mm,
It dropped. So that's a 3,000 point drop.
mm,
Now, those are not only numbers, but they are in a sense because those numbers are going to translate into your investments. Any of you have 401ks out there right now, or even you have stocks or anything like that. When the Dow drops that much, that's 3,000 points. 3,000. And they want to get on there. Oh, the Dow hit 50,000. But see, there's something else. There's another trick in play, too.
mm.
There's another trick in play. Please understand me, ladies and gentlemen. The people that control the stock market aren't you and I with our 401ks or individual stocks and things like that. We do not. We are blimp or flicker. Okay? What really controls the market are institutional investors. I want you to hear me loud and clear. Institutional investors, those are people that pump billions of dollars in the market on a daily basis. Not you and I don't care if we have 50,000, 100,000, or even $1 million. I don't care. I'm talking about billions. Those people that pump billions in there, and guess what? They'll put it in there, and the market goes up, 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 to a point where they know they've made a lot of money. Then they snatch the rug from under us and they sell. When they sell, the market drops. Please understand what I'm saying. When people are buying, the market goes up, especially those institutional investors. All right. When it goes up, okay, everybody's making a little money, right? But then they see, oh, okay. It's sort of like that Eddie Murphy and Trading Places.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Right.
And they
right.
went in. That is a perfect example about what I'm talking about. Okay, because they were betting on, and the crowd there, that was actually not the stock market. That was the commodities market because they were talking about buying oranges, the orange report. And if the orange report was great, everybody was going to do great. So the initial report came out, and they're pumping this thing up like the orange report. Oh, it's going to be great. But it wasn't. And when it did that, Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, they said, sell. And everybody started selling, and the market dropped. That's the way it works. Okay? Keep in mind, our 2 or 3,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 doesn't make a whole hill of beans. It's the institution investors, and they get inside information, which is illegal.
Yep.
Which is definitely illegal. You're supposed to go to prison for that.
Right. Insider trading is
insider
serious,
trading. That's
serious
exactly right.
crime.
You know, when I was a stockbroker, if I got involved in insider trading, it could cost me a year or plus, or a year plus in prison, and or $1 million fine, and or meaning I couldn't work in that industry again for 10 years. Yet our Congress people can do it all day long.
Wow.
Yes, they can.
Well,
They
I
can do
don't know. Seems like
Yes, they
that
can.
there should be rules against that, William.
It should be.
Yeah,
But guess what? They make the rules. They are not. No, I'm serious. They are not held accountable for this. That's why it's been a lot of infighting also about those members of Congress that are involved in insider trading. They're doing it and they're getting away with it because they passed their laws. Folks, I'm telling you. If I were president of the United States, a whole lot of things have changed around here. There's a new, it'll be a new sheriff in town. I'm telling you right now.
Well, you would
crazy.
have to have Congress's approval because they have to basically pass the law in the House and in the Senate, and then you can turn it into law. Unless, of course, we're going to do these interesting executive orders, which many of them have been gross overreaches of authority and power. But the Supreme Court actually did their job in that respect for a moment. He's still doing what he wants to do anyway. But it was amazing that they actually overturned one of those orders dealing with those illegal tariffs. But we'll see. But anyway, I'm sorry. That was just a little anecdote about if you were president, what could and couldn't happen.
Look,
that's if we play by the rules. If we play by the rules, right now people aren't playing by the rules. So if we're that type of president, okay, yeah, you can probably do whatever you want to.
They're making it up as they go,
and
to suit their benefit. I want to play this, and then we're gonna move to our main topic. Let's do this.
It was my elder mother.
President Trump, I thought you was our guy.
I'm totally disgusted because it wasn't only myself, it was my elder mother in her 90s and my sister as well. I'm totally disgusted because it wasn't only myself, it was my elder mother in her 90s and my sister as well. We all got defrauded.
That was Carol Ann Turturra, one of more than 10,000 victims of fraudster David Gentile, whose 7-year prison sentence was shockingly commuted by President Trump just a few days ago. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He served only about 12 days. And when you read the letters of his victims that the prosecution submitted to a judge earlier this year, they're really heartbreaking. Senior citizens who can no longer afford to retire, who can't afford vital medical treatments to pay for their disabled children, all because of this more than $1.6 billion Ponzi scheme, according to prosecutors.
My late husband had just died, and I was told, wonderful products to get into. You've got to do this. Let's get your family into them. I mean, my mother lost over 100,000. My sister is in the same boat as I am.
What would you say to President Trump if he were watching right now?
I'd ask him why he did this. It makes no sense.
And that is the question. Why on earth would President Trump commute this sentence of this fraudster. Well, here's what the White House said when asked earlier this week.
This is another example that has been brought to the president's attention of a weaponization of justice from the previous administration, and therefore he signed this commutation.
So who brought this alleged weaponization of the Justice Department to President Trump's attention? Who? I asked Caroline Leavitt. She did not respond, but I'll tell you who it was not. It couldn't have been President Trump's handpicked U.S. attorney for New York, because when the sentence came down in May, he said that the sentence was well-deserved and should serve as a warning to would-be fraudsters that seeking to get rich by taking advantage of investors gets you only a one-way ticket to jail. So it wasn't him. And it couldn't have been the assistant director in charge of the FBI's New York field office, because he too, when that sentence came down in May of this year, said that Gentile and his co-defendant, quote, wove a web of lies to steal more than $1 billion from investors through empty promises of guaranteed profits and unlawfully rerouting funds to provide an illusion of success, unquote. So who was it? Who told President Trump this story that this was weaponization and not actually justice? Whose story was more compelling than the stories of people like Carol Ann and the more than 10,000 victims who have real hardships now because of Gentile? Who? I'm just asking, because the American people deserve answers, and these victims deserve answers.
We all want to know. Yes. So, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This
you got
guy,
a con man running everything, of course. Look, it's no wonder what we have going on. You have people who have been accused of all types of crimes, some of them even convicted of crimes in the White House and on the Supreme Court. So it is no wonder at all that these people who have been accused of sexual misconduct, who've been accused of fraud, I know that I think in the case of 4547, he's how many creditors did he not pay? How many times did he filed for bankruptcy? Not to mention
6.
Right. So we're not talking about the best of the best, being in charge here, folks. It's like we skimmed the bottom of the barrel. So no, it's not like we did. We did. The bottom of the barrel and the muck underneath it. That's
it's crazy. You exactly right. Let me play this. I'm gonna play this clip right here.
Okay.
Let me go to something else real quick. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. If you are, hey, let us know. Go to studiow.buzz. Subscribe, leave a comment. If you're on Facebook, let us know via Facebook. Oh boy. I got to do this one. No, let me do this. Okay. It's absolutely incredible. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, that's what we want. Okay. Go to Facebook and download or upload Studio W, Studio W The Buzz, Studio W Buzz, or log into Studio W The Buzz. LinkedIn, Studio W Buzz, YouTube, Studio W The Buzz, right? Also available on Alexa, Google Play, Apple CarPlay, and download that app. You can take us with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some of the finest in music, sports, comedy, entertainment, and a whole lot more. And you can take us with you anywhere, even on vacation, whether it's home or abroad. And the Apple is Studio W. Android, go to your Google Play Store and download Studio W. Also available on Alexa. Now let's do this. Okay. Here we are. I'm not going to play all of this. It's quite...
As Trump's war in Iran rages on, Trump's Justice Department is quietly trying to make the criminal case punishing the biggest Iran sanctions violations ever prosecuted in U.S. history disappear. It's a case of Turkey's state-run Halkbank, which was charged in a $20 billion conspiracy, that's billion with a B, to launder Iranian oil money. It was charged in a conspiracy that was masterminded by Reza Zarrab, a former client of Rudy Giuliani.
Oh.
It's a case that's been a thorn in Trump's side for the better part of a decade. U.S. attorneys who pursued this investigation and brought this case suddenly lost their jobs, believing that they were fired because of their work on this case. It was a case that has drawn attention to the curious U.S.-Turkish relationship under Trump and Trump's own personal relationship with Turkey's strongman ruler, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who John Bolton called one of the dictators Trump liked. As a matter of fact, in one of his early interviews, when he was running for president for the first time, he told Steve Bannon that he had, in his words, a conflict of interest with the Turkish government.
All right, we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go with this. It's incredible. The corruption is so deep that anybody, you would think that it's a movie. You would think that it is an absolute.
Yeah, I was talking to the kids the other night, and the Bible says God is the author and finisher of our faith, and it's like, when you think about it, what's happening on the in the world, on the global stage right now, if this were just a book, it would be a page turner. It would keep you up all night wanting to know what happened next. But it's not just a book, and maybe from heaven's side of things it's that way, but from our side of things, this is life, and we would rather this be reduced to a good movie or a good book, and that life go back to making sense.
Really?
Than to have all of this that we're living through right now. It's insanity. The people who are insane are literally the ones running the asylum. It's everybody with some senses. I don't know what happened. I don't.
Crazy.
Right.
Okay, let's try this one. I think this is the one I want right here. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone, I know it's hard to be shocked these days, but here we are. And this one is a real doozy. Some U.S. military commanders are describing what's happening in Iran as a holy war. Troops have told watchdog groups that they were briefed by commanders who described the war as part of God's divine plan, with references to biblical prophecy. One commander allegedly told his troops that President Trump had been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to Earth. Yeah. The Council on American Islamic Relations, a Muslim civil rights organization, recently released a statement saying that all Americans should be deeply disturbed by this holy war rhetoric being spread right now. The U.S. military, of course, is one of the most powerful institutions on earth, and it's governed, at least in theory, by the Constitution, civilian leadership, and centuries of rules that were designed to keep personal ideology out of decisions about war and peace. So hearing a geopolitical conflict described as a religious mission should make every American really uncomfortable. But according to recent reports, more than 200 service members have already raised concerns about this framing, saying it could violate the principles of religious freedom within the armed forces. Now, if this rhetoric really is being used inside our military, that deserves serious scrutiny from Congress, from the Pentagon, and from us, the American public.
Okay, and wow.
I remember, I don't know if you remember, but I actually sent you and Greer an article from The Guardian about that. When it happened, it was Tuesday, March 3rd. I sent you an article, a Guardian article entitled "U.S. Troops Were Told War on Iran Was All Part of God's Divine Plan." watchdog alleges. The U.S. military commanders have been invoking extreme Christian rhetoric about biblical end times to justify involvement in the Iran war to troops, according to complaints made to a watchdog group. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation, or MRFF, says it has received more than 200 complaints from service members across all branches of the armed forces, including the Marines, Air Force, and Space Force. One complainant, identified as a non-commissioned officer, or NCO, in a unit that could be deployed at any moment to join operations against Iran, told MRFF in a complaint viewed by The Guardian that their commander had urged us to tell our troops that this was all part of God's divine plan. And he specifically referenced numerous citations out of the book of Revelation, referring to Armageddon and the imminent return of Jesus Christ. He said that President Trump has been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to Earth, the NCO added. The NCO's complaint was filed on behalf of 15 troops, including 11 Christians, one Muslim person, and one Jewish person. The complaint was first shared by MRFF with Jonathan Larson, an independent journalist. Anytime Israel or the U.S. is involved in the Middle East, we get this stuff about Christian nationalists who've taken over our government, and certainly our U.S. military. Mikey Weinstein, MRFF's president, who is an Air Force veteran, told The Guardian. Military members are not really able to stand up for themselves because your military superior is not your shift manager at Starbucks, he added. In a statement, Weinstein suggested the reports indicate an increase in Christian extremism in the military, noting that the complainants report the unrestricted euphoria of their commanders, who perceive a biblically sanctioned war that is clearly the undeniable sign of an expeditious approach of the fundamentalist Christian end times. He said that the complaints show a clear violation of the separation of church and state. There you go. Pete Hegseth, the U.S. Defense Secretary, is known for his embrace of Christian nationalism. He previously endorsed the doctrine of sphere sovereignty, a worldview derived from the extremist beliefs of Christian Reconstructionism, or CR. The philosophy calls for capital punishment for homosexuality and strictly patriarchal families and churches. In August 2025, Hegseth reposted a CNN segment on X focusing on Pastor Doug Wilson, a Christian nationalist who co-founded the Idaho-based Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, or CREC. In the segment, Wilson says he does not believe women should hold leadership positions in the military or be able to fill high-profile combat roles. I would like to see this nation being a Christian nation, and I would like this world to be a Christian world, Wilson said. In response to a request for comment on the complaints, the Pentagon did not reply, instead sharing public clips of Hegseth discussing the operation in Iran. So this is blatantly against the Constitution, folks. Number one, the people who supposedly founded America were all running from European religious persecution. So one of the fundamental tenets of American democracy is freedom of religion. One of the fundamental tenets. If you couldn't do anything else, you could worship whoever you wanted to, because they were being persecuted so much for their religious beliefs. So when you came to America, you had Puritans, you had you had Lutherans, you got all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? You've got all kinds of people worshiping God the way that they wanted to worship God. That was not an issue because they were running from that. Okay. Now they may have been okay with slavery, but they were not okay with religious persecution. So
don't tell me who I can.
Right. Don't tell me who I can and cannot worship, but it's okay about if you want to hold slaves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I'm down with that.
Right. So that's the first thing that you ought to know. The second thing that you ought to know, and this comes from not, constitutional um, argument. This is from the spiritual side of things. First of all, God don't need their help to do nothing. Nothing. As a matter of fact, their evil hearts are more of what will be ushering in Armageddon than anything else. Okay. And number two, you need to read the Bible for yourself. Because these people don't know half of what they are talking about. I mean, Jesus told you what to look for in terms of, signs and wonders and whatnot. And folks, we got a long way to go. A whole lot more stuff is going to happen before we even get to that point. It's bad now, but it's going to get even worse before we get to that point. That's if you read your Bible. And as far as a Christian nation or a Christian world, your job is not to turn the world into a Christian nation, or the United States into a Christian nation, or the world into a Christian world. That is not what you are told to do. Before Jesus left, what he said to the disciples, and that means he said it to all of us, we're all supposed to do it, is to go and preach the gospel to everybody. That's it, folks. You are supposed to tell people about Jesus Christ. The conviction portion, meaning the part of it where they believe, God put that on himself. That is the Holy Spirit's job. He knows who's going to believe. He knows who's not going to believe. It's not for you to know that. Otherwise, you would just go to the people that you knew would believe. But God gives everybody a chance to accept him or refuse him, because he is that kind of a good God. Okay. So it's not your business whether people believe or not. It is your business to obey the will of the Lord, to go and preach the gospel to all the world. Period.
Right.
Period. Right. He didn't tell you to do, he didn't say enslave people and force them to worship me. He didn't say oppress your wives and force them to worship me. As a matter of fact, the biggest con job that these misogynistic male so-called preachers have done is to take the word of God and use it in a way to not only enslave people in general, but even women. They love to tell you that the word of God tells you you're supposed to stay home. I dare you to go read Proverbs, the scripture they love to use about the model woman. She had a job. And the Bible makes it clear she had a job. This woman was in the real estate, and the Bible made it clear, with her money, not his money, her money, she did this and she did that. And she was still a homemaker, and she still had a husband who worked and loved to brag on how his exceptional wife was so wonderful, and people patting him on the back about it. The women today are more like the woman described in that Bible than any other woman that they try to make it out to be. She was more than just a stay-at-home mom. She was like the women of today, but they twisted the word of God so much so, just like their father, the devil, because that's what he does. He twists the words of God and lies in order to get people to do what he wants them to do. God didn't tell you that for that women were supposed to be second-class citizens any more than he told you black people were supposed to be second-class citizens, or that Native Americans should be wiped off the map. But this is literally what Christian nationalism says. Christian nationalism basically told them that they were like the new Abraham, and God gave them America. So it was okay for them to wipe out the Native American. That's how crazy Christian nationalism is.
And it is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And think about this, Ann. And think about this. They go around, and I think it was Charlie Kirk, and like I said, and we've talked about this before. I know he shouldn't have been killed. However, to say We need to honor this man. You are out of your ever-loving mind. He was a racist. He was a homophobe, a xenophobe, and a misogynist. And these guys,
Mhm.
they preach this. A woman should go to college to find a husband, then go home and be barefoot and pregnant. I'm paraphrasing that. I'm paraphrasing that.
Still, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
don't want women to vote.
Nope, they don't.
They really don't.
They don't want
Folks.
women to have access to birth control, and that's another thing these white women don't know they voted for. These people do not want you to have access to birth control. You think that because in some of these states you voted to make it a constitutional right for women to have abortions. They are actively working right here in the state I'm in and in a lot of other states to make it so that your constitutional amendments to the state constitution, that they can still override that. They are actively working on ways to get around all of this stuff that you think is keeping you safe, but it's not. If they get their way, the right to abortion is not the only thing that you're going to lose. And it's causing a lot more women to leave the workforce already. A lot of women already, if they hadn't lost jobs, they've had to come home and stay home because of the changes that have taken place just so far. And we haven't even gotten to the most extreme ones yet, because if they have their way, you won't even be able to get a birth control pill, let alone an IUD or anything to prevent you from having a baby.
Even if you have an atopical pregnancy, they
Yeah.
don't want you.
Right.
Come on.
They rather you and the baby die than to.
It's the craziest
insane.
It is absolutely insane. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. And you women out there that are falling for this,
right?
Women that are falling for this, I'm gonna say something to my Black brothers and sisters. If you still support this regime that's going on right now, that's happening right now in front of our eyes, that's tearing up the world, then you are part of that ilk that when you found out, going back with your ancestors, that found out they were free to leave the plantation but refused not, you're part of them. You are refusing to leave the plantation when you are already free.
Right.
No, I'm serious about that.
Right.
How many times do they need to call you the N-word? How many times do they need to deny you employment or opportunities? I don't understand it at all. I saw a clip that made me want to regurgitate the other day, and it was a bunch of Black Republicans that have MAGA hats on.
House Negroes ain't no account for them.
Look.
Ain't no account.
I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even need you as a fan. Okay, I'm serious about that, because see, English tend to rub off. It tends to rub off, and I really don't want you in my ethos, in my orbit. I don't. You are a disgrace to me. You are a disgrace.
And they're trying to create more of them. I don't know if you heard, but our governor here has announced some partnership with Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA to be in every high school in Arkansas. Thank God my baby graduates this year.
Oh, wow. Already?
Yeah, he graduates.
AJ is graduating from college?
No. This is Alex. Graduating from high school. Yeah, but no, not yet. He's close, but this is from THV 11. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders wants every high school to start Turning Point USA chapter.
That's crazy.
You think? It says conservative activist and influencer Erica Kirk joined Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Wednesday to announce the signing of a proclamation supporting Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA. The event took place at the governor's mansion in Little Rock, with Governor Sanders encouraging every Arkansas high school to start a Club America or Turning Point USA chapter. Club America is a high school chapter based organization that was started by Turning Point USA, which Charlie Kirk co-founded before his assassination in September of 2025. It's never too early to learn the values of faith and freedom that power our country, Sanders said. Sanders spoke before Erica Kirk, stating that she was encouraged to see the crowd of around 200 in attendance, about half of whom were students. She then said that she spent the first part of the day at Arkansas Christian Academy in Bryant at a pep rally celebrating their Club America chapter. She then announced that she had signed a proclamation encouraging every Arkansas high school to start a Club America or Turning Point USA chapter. While I'm incredibly excited to see this movement continue and to see each of you carrying it out, it's important to remember that Charlie wasn't impactful because he was great. He was impactful because God is great.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In the signed proclamation, the governor encourages every high school and college in the state to start a Turning Point USA chapter to engage in civil discourse and open dialogue. The proclamation also encourages high schools and colleges to accept a student's reasonable participation in clubs or political or religious speech. Sanders also wants to discourage what she calls discrimination against free speech in public schools, especially conservative students' right to free speech. The governor then introduced Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, who received a lengthy standing ovation as she hugged Sanders. So many of us would have been so broken and so lost in our grief from what she has had to endure, Sanders said. Kirk began by speaking directly to the students in the room. I want to encourage you guys that when you join a Club America chapter, you are part of a huge network of family, Kirk said. She then encouraged students to stand up for their beliefs and quoted scripture to tell them to count it all joy when they're persecuted for their beliefs. Kirk was visibly emotional at the end of the governor's announcement and received further applause. Now, for those of you who will still have children in these high schools with these Club America people, please do talk to your students, to your children, and let them know what this is really about, so that your kids won't be fooled like these idiots that William is referring to that call themselves Black Republicans.
That's right.
Because it's one thing to have a friend who's white. It's another thing to have somebody trying to whitewash your thinking so that you see the world only from their point of view. And guess what? They may treat you well because this is the N word they know, but because that's what they thinking, right? This is the N word they know, and this is a good one in their particular estimation. But when you leave your little bubble where you are accepted by the white people and you find out what the real world is like, somebody that I know is really close to me grew up, with a lot of white friends, and thought when he went off to school that he was making some more white friends. Well, they took him up somewhere in Northwest Arkansas, just left him in the woods by himself in Klan territory. And so he had to call his father to come and get him. And his dad was like, it was a miracle that he was able to find him. So these are not times, I tell my sons all the time, I don't mind you having white friends. I don't. The friends you got are cool, but this ain't the time to be making any new so-called friends, people you don't know, because at this juncture, these people are pretending to be friends to do stuff to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because
they will lure you in.
We will lure you in, and so don't get this false sense of security that because you have a good relationship with these people over here, that that racism is gone, that it's backward thinking, because that's the type of stuff they try to program in everybody's mind. You know what I'm saying? They want people to think like them.
Right.
And first of all, they're lying to themselves, because if racism wasn't an issue, why are you having to tell yourself it's not an issue?
That's it. That's
It
it.
just would be. It would be what it is, and that's
Right,
not what.
right. And you know, my thing is, you know, I'm not saying don't have white friends either, but I think they need to be vetted.
You know, and not. I mean, if you have a white friend like this same kid that I'm referring to, you know, when things were going on in the pandemic and Black Lives Matter was a thing, his white friends had him saying white lives matter too. It's like, boy, we're not talking about them. They, of course, their lives matter. They always have mattered to
Always
them,
have.
right? But to us, they don't seem to care. And
They don't.
don't let their way of thinking about the world, because their thinking is very self-centered. It's all about them. Everything is catered to them. So for you to get mad that a white cop killed a black man, it is one of those things that makes them angry. Really? Why aren't you angry that a black man was beaten and killed, murdered in the street, and there was a white man sitting on his neck laughing while while this man was begging for his life, telling them he couldn't breathe. He took pleasure in killing him.
You can see it in his face.
Exactly. He didn't look distressed at all. He was having a good time. And so you mean to tell me these people, instead of being outraged about that, they're mad because black people are saying this happens so much, you need to understand that our lives matter too, and you shouldn't treat us this way? Seriously? Case in point, I hate what's happening in Minnesota. I do. But before Minnesota, last year in California, there was another person who was killed by ICE who had melanated skin, but it didn't get half the attention, not half the attention that we put on what happened to Alex Preddy and what happened to Ms. Good. I say that because they put more value on lives when the people are white. They just do. And so to have somebody make you feel like there's something wrong with you because you see the problem and you are addressing the problem means that it's a bigger problem with them, because
that's exactly right.
Because you're focused on the wrong thing. You're not focused on the injustice. You're not focused on the murder. You focused on the fact that, oh, they want us to make them equal with us, basically, because if I've got to say that your life matters as much as mine, then that means I'm not better than you. And what I've been taught is that I'm better than you.
That's right. I'm gonna play this last clip here. I can't believe, and thank you so much, Ann. You're always excellent.
As are you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Oh, always, my friend. Oh, and as a matter of fact, is this your 10th year with us? With me? Coming, are we in your 10th year? Your mic is muted.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking. I think in May it'll be 10 years when I was officially hired. I think you interviewed me starting that March and then into April, but I was officially made a member of the show that May. So yeah, we've been doing this for a decade now. How you feeling?
Wow. Oh, wow. That is too cool. That is too cool.
Yes.
I'm going to share this. This is something you guys, not you, Ann, brilliant president said that it's a good thing that oil prices is going up because we're making a whole lot of money.
Wow.
Check this one out. Check this out.
That pay in higher prices for oil is actually a good thing. He wrote this on Truth Social. He said, the United States is the largest oil producer in the world by far. So when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. Who's we exactly? Are you making a lot of money? But of far greater interest and importance to me as president is stopping an evil empire Iran from having nuclear weapons and destroying the Middle East and indeed the world. I won't ever let that happen. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Well, thank you too, Donnie, for making people like us write about you every step of the way. We have sat back and told people for years that this guy is going to screw them over and take them to the cleaners. Who exactly is making money when he says we? Because it sure as hell ain't the person that's paying more at the pump. And the person that's paying more at the pump now and going along and eating this big old bucket of shit are the same people who every time prices went up under Joe Biden was screaming to the rooftops that it was all the president's fault. Donald Trump has never had to sit and worry about the price of gas, for the record, nor has he ever had to worry about the price of groceries. That's why he said that affordability was a hoax. That's also why that he said groceries is old-fashioned. It was an old-fashioned word. Yeah, because he's never had to hear it. He's never had to consider it. Grocery prices, gas prices, oil prices has never affected him the way it affects his supporters. It's only affected him from a way of, how can me and my family grift off this and make more and more money? And there's people right now that are running to the pump going, oh boy, yeah, man, this is a good thing. This is a good thing, as they struggle to put food on their tables. They look up to a man who would not wipe his nose on their Sunday best. They look up to a man who has never one time lived in their world. And if you really wanted a good reality show, I'll tell you the one you need to make. You need to make a reality show where Donald Trump comes to Appalachia. Let's send him to Harlan, Kentucky. That's a perfect place for it. Let's send him to Harlan, Kentucky, and just let him find work up there. He can go work in a coal mine if he wants to. How long do you think he would last on his knees digging coal? He'd probably end up working down at the Racks. That's my favorite place up there. He'd probably end up working out down there. That's a roast beef place for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he would probably end up working down there. And I just wonder if he would be able to work there and then pay rent and buy groceries and pay a car payment and pay insurance on everything and pay all of his bills. And here's the kicker. He's not allowed to have any of his daddy's money. He's not allowed to have a small loan of $1 million. No help. He just has to live that way. And he has to look at that gas pump and think about going back and forth to work every day. How many episodes of that reality show do you think would be made before he would collapse? I'll go ahead and tell you, they wouldn't even get the pilot finished till he would tap out and go home like a little bitch. So yeah, he may be making a lot of money. His family may find ways to grift off this and make a ton of money. But the people at the bottom who are celebrating this, as John Lennon would say, a working class hero is something to be.
Wow. And
well, I just got to say,
how long would he last on a manual labor job or any job? Well, I have a question for
as long as he lasted on the battlefield. That's how long. Mr. Bones first.
He never made it to the battlefield.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that is too funny.
Probably be one of them people jumping off buildings if he lost all his little money.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the thing about this is so crazy. I have had a question. I have a question for our audience. You business owners out there, let's say, and you don't have to be a CEO, but let's say you are a CEO of a corporation, or you have a partnership with somebody, or you're a sole proprietor of a business, just a business owner. Would any of you guys hire this guy?
Funny.
No, think about this. And
funny.
Who out there would actually hire this guy? Yet he is the president of the United States. If you had any sense at all, you would you have him on your cash register? No, because he'll steal it.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say there were a group of people, a bunch of them, who hired him. And these people shouldn't be allowed to hire anybody, obviously. So these are not the people who are running the businesses. For now I won't say. I'll say the small businesses runners, maybe some of them did, but
really,
but
you think so?
The big large corporations, those are the ones who were voting for him.
Yeah,
because they've been making a killing off this
because they would benefit. They
Yeah,
were
they've been that's why they've been kissing his butt at every turn. That's why as soon as
too funny.
he was announced the winner in November 2024, they started rolling back DEI and all of this kind of stuff because they're like, oh, if they kiss his tail, they're going to get a whole lot of benefits from it. And they knew this. Now the small mom and pop the mom and pop stores, you lost your mind if you voted for the farmers. Look, Arkansas farmers have, I think, the highest bankruptcy record or one of the highest in the country because of Trump's policies.
Wow.
Have literally bankrupted the farmers here. And guess what? If you talk to them, a lot of them would still vote for Trump. A lot of them would still vote for Sanders. A lot, because they vote against their own interests. If they feel like what is going to happen to brown people will be worse than what's happening to them, they will vote for it every time, because this isn't a vote about politics. This is a vote about racism. And that's what Christian nationalism is based on. It's based on racism. It's idolatry. But anyway, folks, it's 6:58. I'm not going to prolong the time. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know I did.
I did too.
It reminded me of the days when it was me, you, and Reverend Demery. I was thinking about him earlier today, and I really do miss him. I hope Sandra is doing well, and his daughter. And anyway,
I need to give Sandra a call.
Yeah, I've been thinking about giving her a call to just, I don't know what to say except, I'm just thinking about you from time to time, but yeah. At any rate,
as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it when we get off.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. This has been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, always.
I hope the audience enjoyed it. We've gotten some great feedback on this, especially in my thread, my text threads. I've been getting a lot of great information back on, a lot of great feedback. And guys, come back, because tonight is an extenuation of my birthday celebration.
Oh,
that's right. I do it
Happy
all
birthday to you. Happy
all
birthday
month long.
to you.
I do it. Andre has a birthday coming up pretty soon. Is that the 20th?
Yeah, his birthday is coming up soon too. So we and so next weekend I won't be around at all because we'll be celebrating his birthday and going out of town. And so thank you for remembering my baby. Yeah.
Okay.
I love. Happy birthday.
Before the month is out, perhaps he'll be back the following Sunday or Monday or whatever it is, and pick out a date. So we'll play some music for you.
Oh, thank you. I will let him know again because I did. As a matter of fact, he walked in the room when we were talking about it because I had you on speaker, so he knows. So he knows.
Okay, and thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and guys, I hope you did. And come back in about an hour or so for Sunday Night Gold. Yours truly, WB and the Jazzy Diva. Enjoy your Sunday.
Have a blessed one.